Hello everyone and welcome to John Allen Outside. Today we are going to be repairing a hole in my Gossamer Gear Mariposa 60 backpack. Let's get to it. I just picked up this backpack this year. I absolutely love it. And unfortunately, within the first few weeks of using it, I was crawling underneath a down log that was too low. My pack got snagged on it and I ended up getting a hole in the mesh part right here. So I'm going to do some close-up shots for you so you can get a better idea of what the hole looks like. And then we are going to go into my workshop and I'm going to repair this using a technique I haven't really seen anywhere online, but I've used it for repairing mesh before and it works really well. So let's take a look at how this works. Here is the hole in the pack. You can see right here. Yeah, I was crawling under a log and snagged it. This is no fault of the pack. This is a very durable material. The problem is I just abused it way more than I should have, and then this happened. So we are going to repair this right now, and let me show you what I'm going to use. The contact cement we're going to use is called weldwood, and I've had a lot of success with this repairing things like mesh in the past. It's waterproof, and it's extremely durable. And I think this is going to work great. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a binder like this. You can use anything really. And I'm going to put it in the back pocket. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to create a flat surface to work on. This is going to stretch this out really nice and make it super easy for working on fixing this hole. The next thing I'm going to do is just use a standard piece of like painter's masking tape, and I'm going to put that on the underside of the hole, and that way it's going to help keep this little flap in place when we start gluing it down. So I have that piece of tape in place, and now we're ready to start the gluing process. And one thing I want to explain before I get started is I'm going to do this over a period of days. And the reason is I just want to do a little at a time. So I'm going to start out by just doing this side on the left here first, because if I try to do the whole hole at once, I just don't think it's going to work very well. It's not going to stretch well enough. So we're going to do a little piece at a time. So we're going to start just with this part on the left. This particular glue that I'm using has a brush on it. Oh, this just does make a huge mess also, so I would say it's a good idea to have some paper towels handy or something to clean up as well, because as you can see I just slopped it on there. I'm going to clean this off before we get going. And now we're going to slide that over there like that. And with that in place like that, that tape is going to hold it down. And I'm also going to put a weight on it. There's the weight, and that's going to help keep that in place. So this is what it looks like after the first day. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing up the next part of it. Here. Just going to paint this on. And press it down. Going to do this last section, and I think it's probably easiest to use a tweezers to get some glue on there. Then use the tweezers to pull that over and press it down. I'm going to put the weight back on it, and then we'll come back and we'll check that in the morning. Here's what it looks like after the final section got glued up. Looking really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put one more layer just over across the whole thing, just to kind of seal it up so it holds better. And just for reference, you might be wondering, well, why didn't you try to sew it? I did attempt to sew this, and it was really kind of a mess. It was all bunched up, and I didn't like the look of it at all. Whereas I believe this method here is going to be a lot more aesthetic. Just getting this all in here, get a nice layer over the top, and then that's going to dry and cure really nicely. Okay, there it is. We are going to let that dry for the rest of the day, and then I'll show you what it looks like later on this evening. All right, about most of the day has gone by now, and taking a look here, it looks like it's pretty solid. You can stretch it this way, stretch it this way. That's not going anywhere. After looking at this for a while, I thought, you know, it is a little bit unsightly, that glue on there. So what I did is I've got two patches I can try out. I've got this one here, and Callan goes to the University of Wisconsin, so I like that one. And I'll either iron that one on, or I did buy another one that says, "The mountains are calling," one of my favorite quotes from John Muir. So I think putting a patch on there is going to be the way to go. It'll be fine with this material, and that way it will hide the glue. So that's how you repair the mesh part on the back of your backpack if you get a tear in it. Now, other options would be sewing it, which I tried and did not like how that was turning out at all. It's just really hard to sew that mesh fabric. Also, you could use something like these patches, but these things are just a little bit unsightly as well, and I don't think it really holds very well. So I kind of tossed out that idea as well. So give this a try. If you get a hole in your pack, it is unfortunate because there's just really no good way to make it look like brand new anymore. But using the glue method, you can make sure it's not going to continue to rip and get worse and worse, and it will hold up well. Also, like what I'm doing, if you don't think it looks really, really nice after you're done with it, you can always put a patch over it. Mine luckily happens to be in the center of the back of the pack, so it should work out well, and nobody's even going to know it's there. So thanks for watching, guys. If you found any value in this, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks, and we'll see you out on the trail.